Hey guys, welcome to the mini documentary series The Journey. In this video, we are looking at the controversial past of Jon Jones. There aren't many names that come to mind when we think of a mixed martial artist that has dominated the sport as much as Jon Jones has. He is widely regarded as the finest fighter to ever enter the octagon. He has beaten great fighters from numerous eras and has yet to be defeated conclusively. However, Jon Jones' brilliance will always be questioned due to the scandals he has been involved in outside of the octagon. When the name Jon Bones Jones is spoken, the United States Anti-Doping Agency, or USADA, is discussed as well. This is because Jones, the most decorated fighter in UFC history, has tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs and prohibited substances on many occasions. Jon Jones' legal problems are well known, whether it's a history of DUIs or the notorious hit-and-run incident that resulted in his UFC championship being taken in 2015. Along with the partying, Bones has been linked to many instances involving performance-enhancing substances, which resulted in a championship reversal in 2017. Let's look at 3 instances where Jones failed his drug tests. UFC 200. At UFC 182, Jon Jones faced Daniel Cormier for the first fight and successfully defended his lightweight heavyweight championship. He was stripped of the UFC belt, though, after being charged with a hit-and-run incident prior to his title defense against Anthony Johnson. In Jones' absence, an interesting turn of events resulted in Daniel Cormier winning the lightweight heavyweight championship, and they are poised to meet each other again at UFC 200 to end their feud. Unfortunately, USADA penalized Jon Jones before the Jones vs. DC2 match because he tested positive for 2 prohibited drugs, hydroxychloroquine and letrozole metabolite. The highlighted chemicals, according to reports, were anti-estrogens used to offset the effects of other illicit compounds such as steroids. Jones' manager at the time, as well as Jones himself, came up with a different rationale. Jones was using Cialis, a male enhancement drug, according to reports, which he obtained from a teammate, Eric Blazich. Instead of Cialis, Eric Blazich administered several tablets containing prohibited drugs to Jones. Finally, the arbitrators reviewing Jones decided that Jones' use of prohibited drugs was inadvertent. What do you guys think? Comment below and let us know. UFC 214. Jones would return to the UFC Heavyweight Championship after serving his 1-year ban, and he was slated to meet the champion Daniel Cormier in a rematch in UFC 214 at the Honda Center in Anaheim. Jones would make things simpler for himself this time by knocking out Cormier in the 3rd round. However, Jones' situation was about to worsen when he failed a drug test just 1 day before the fight. Although Jon Jones passed a post-fight blood screening after UFC 214 on July 29th, he failed a urine test before the fight on July 28th. It should be noted that USADA blood tests do not detect turinabol, but urine testing does. Jones was flagged for the same drugs, therefore he passed the post-fight drug test but failed the urine test prior to the bout. Jones failed a USADA drug test for the 2nd time. This time, the sentence was far more severe, with a 4-year ban from the sport. Except for one, Jones passed every test leading up to his bout against Daniel Cormier at UFC 214. Although he was initially suspended for 4 years, an arbitrator later extended his term by 15 months. Before the rematch with Cormier, Jones tested positive for a steroid metabolite. Jones, on the other hand, claimed that he was unaware of how the steroid metabolite entered his blood. He even submitted all of the dietary supplements he used, but none were determined to be tainted with prohibited ingredients. Following a comprehensive inquiry, an impartial arbiter determined that Jones was not knowingly cheating and sentenced him to an 18-month ban. What do you guys think? Comment below and let us know. UFC 232. Because Jon Jones failed the USADA drug test before the UFC 232, the New York State Athletic Commission, NSAC, refused to authorize Jones to compete in Sin City. As a result, the UFC was obliged to relocate the event to Los Angeles on only 6 days' notice. Jones tested positive for the same metabolite that landed him in hot water before UFC 214. Jones did not re-ingest any illegal chemicals this time, according to the experts participating in the inquiry. A tiny amount of metabolite was still present in his body and would be for some time. Unlike the first 2 instances, Jones received no suspension since he was found to be innocent by the commissions. Perhaps only Jon Jones knows for certain if he used performance-enhancing substances on purpose throughout his MMA career. Science, as his intricate test history has demonstrated, does not lie, but it does not always reveal the full truth. Jones has failed many drug tests, Yet official declarations that exonerate him of purposely cheating are progressively disappearing as he continues to write his legacy. What do you guys think? Is Jon Jones a cheater? Comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow.